Hello, everyone. I just get a sound check, please. Thanks, John. Voices matter. People here in DAI and the wider community come from different backgrounds, different ages and perspectives. So the more ways we have to communicate, the better. These VCs are just another way to open that up, give everyone a regular, consistent space to speak and listen. There's no pressure to talk. It's here if you want it. I don't see these as being overly structured either, and for good reason. First thing I wanted to acknowledge is the Telegram issue that's been going around the last 24 hours. So Telegram's main short domain, t.me, has been placed on server hold by, I believe, the registry itself. And this is not to lot of the links off global DNS. So if you try clicking a t.me link from a website or CoinMarketCap or Dex Screener or anywhere outside the app, it's not working right now. You just get the DNS errors. The good news is that the Telegram app itself is still completely fine for now. If you're already in our group or any other chat, everything carries on as normal. Messages, voice chats, the lot. It's only the external links that are broken. For us, our group link appears in quite a few token listings and trackers, so those are currently dead. It's not ideal for new people trying to find us through listings, but it's not an issue with our group. This is affecting pretty much everyone using the t.me links. Right now, the simplest workaround is just to open Telegram and search for our exact username. That still obviously works fine. Now, Pavel Durov has already tagged the registry about it, so hopefully it gets resolved quickly, but something strange seems to be going on, although these things are usually temporary. Let me think, something positive to raise was, I wanted to mention pDAI, pDAI.guide, which Mick Shaw recently put together for the community. It's an I think it's maybe three weeks. It feels like it's been really active. He's been building it for a long time. It's an on-chain archive, a research archive, focused on DAI, where you can query information about wallets, transactions, the mints, the governance, and various theories. Instead of manually searching through old posts or scattered data on X or Telegram, you can ask questions directly and get clear explanations and walkthroughs too. I think it's genuinely useful as a time saver. A lot of DAI history is spread across different sources, and this brings a lot of it together in one place. It should help cut down on the questions in chat, albeit questions are good, but it makes it easier for new members to get up to speed. It's a great link to share with people asking questions that have been answered before. What's particularly clever is the live section. Someone may correct me. I'm pretty sure it's pDAI.guide/live. It tracks real-time activity from the 6 core, in quotes, pioneers wallets, with a feed that updates automatically. I think it's every 15 seconds and shows the latest transactions as they happen. So on top of that, and you'll perhaps already have noticed, community member MIJK has built a bot that takes that live data and posts it straight into this Telegram group whenever one of those addresses shows activity. It's a really, really clever addition. So I just want to say thank you to MIJK for putting that together for us on Sunday. Genuinely, genuinely helpful for the group. So if you haven't checked it out yet, take a look at pDAI.guide. I'd recommend having a look at it, and especially the live page. Stephen's here. Hi, Stephen. Good stuff. A few people in. I should also address the BXUSD issue. So, like, much is lost in translation when you're trying to work through things on a screen with folks. 3 or 4 times before, over the past three plus years, we've had coins introduced into chat that are either on a hide into nothing or literally take us very, very far off topic, and it just leads nowhere. When it's something with no liquidity and highly speculative, it just raises alarm bells. We have pDAI Lounge for this, albeit pDAI Lounge has just some strange connotations too historically. Like, it had some strange use cases, but it really is a place you can discuss this stuff before it comes into main chat, and main chat kind of crystallizes things. We have some really, really cool stuff going on in main chat, thanks to like Bavarian and Mick Shaw the last couple of weeks. And I know, and I see that KB is using these tools too. It's fantastic. But when something has no liquidity and charts are getting posted left, right, and center, it's been going on all morning. No one wants to be handing out warns and all this nonsense. It's like, we don't want to be doing that. None of us. I certainly don't. I do feel like we're on the home stretch. I really do. And I think if we're just going to throw speculative stuff into chat, we can be more concrete about it. We can just discuss it elsewhere, find some real strong proofs that directly tie something to DAI. Then it really does become a talking point. And I'm all for that. I'm also very interested in this too. But maybe I think some of that was lost in translation, and people push back, and it sends us nowhere. If someone wants to talk about BXUSD and has the research on it and something to how it can support DAI, I've hardly had time to look myself because I've been preparing for this VC. But please hop on the VC and discuss it. But until then, I feel like chat comes first. The historically, any coins with zero liquidity have just proven nothing but a problem in the Telegram itself. Like, some of us have been around since day one, and we've seen it all happen before. Saying that, I could be completely wrong, but until proven otherwise, I think there's better ways to discuss it. But if someone wants to hop on the VC and discuss, I think that's okay. Thanks, Stephen, too, for all your work sharing these VCs to, I believe, X today, but on YouTube as well. The backgrounds you put together and everything are just excellent. It's a really slick production. I like Ben's comment here. It's very fair. He writes, friends, don't get your endorphin release glands get slapped by a shiny new thing. It's so true.
Hey, Osprey. Sorry, I was like talking and responding, but my thing was muted. I'm like, why is he talking over me like this for? All makes sense now.
I am sorry, Steve. I didn't even realize that.
No, I was muted. That's why I was wondering what was going on. But it's all good, man. Yeah, I'm on Twitter today. I set it up for Twitter. So just trying a different audience. The OBS, it can't stream to Twitter and YouTube at the same time. So today I'm doing it to Twitter, and then I'll upload it to YouTube in clips, I think, because I think the clips are really good. And then we've got some other boys that are streaming to YouTube as well, from what I've seen in the chat. So yeah, I think it'd be cool to spread it across the different platforms and slice it up like I always do, which is good fun.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Steve. You do great work. I was just saying I really like the presentation you do on YouTube. Like, you've always been good at that anyway. Your graphics are really cool, very mindful. But I like the graphics you put with the VCs. It's excellent. I think everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a very visual person, so I do like to have the visuals going.
And this is indeed the case. Some people are very visual, and some people are very data oriented, and that's what makes this great. Something for everybody.
Oh, I can see. I know that he's shy. He knows who he is.
Hi, Stephen. Hello, everybody.
Hey, man. How are you?
Fine, and you guys? Enjoying the week, enjoying the day?
Yeah. So far, so good. And you?
So same stuff, different day. All good.
I gave Mick a big shout out, Bavarian, for his creations, an introduction to it into chat mainstay sort of this week. Notwithstanding your efforts too, you know, we're very grateful for you coming on last week. I think we'll come back to you again though as well, both of you. I think it's going to be a recurring theme, because both of these DApps have become incredibly useful in a short space of time. I'm really making great use of both.
You know, thanks, and thanks for donating some cash to the API credits as well. By the way,
You're welcome. Did that arrive? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't message you back, but thank you. They did.
Oh, good stuff.
Just
Like,
but you know, I appreciate it. It's good to see everyone's getting some use out of it. I'm able to see what everyone's typing in as well, which is interesting. It was kind of interesting. A lot of people were like wondering the feasibility of pDAI pegging because the returns are so much more attractive. That was a common prompt.
it's
I noticed.
people's inquiries is a very good data set to have. You know, if you can retain it and nearly feed it all back in feed it back into your AI. It would be very interesting to see what it says. You know.
Yeah, I want to do a bit of an export of it all. I couldn't work out how to do it, but at least that way we can look at it from a high level to see recurring themes, as you say, to optimize it all.
Hey, Mick, if you want to... oh, sorry.
No, go on, Steve. It's quite all right.
I was just going to say, I've got the screen up in the stream. If you want to, I've got your link. So if you want to talk through it, I can have a look through it on my end, and at least anyone who's watching on X or maybe watching later on YouTube will be able to see the website as you're kind of talking about it, and I can just kind of navigate the website as you talk if you want to explain it a little bit.
Yeah, okay. I can't see it on my end at the moment. Do I have to open up it on X, I guess? Is that right?
Yeah, probably. If you just go to X and you go to my name, you'll be able to see the screen, but there's probably still going to be a bit of a lag, I would say. The X streaming is not crash hot.
And if I can mute it, then it should be all right. Then there shouldn't be any kind of echo, I hope. We'll see what happens. But yeah, can do. Let me see. Just waiting for it to load. But I guess I will say that it was a group effort. I think Tino Sands came up with the idea of actually developing this chatbot. I thought it was a very good idea. And a majority of the research comes from everyone. Obviously, Nine Iron Capital exported all of his tweets, scraped his entire profile. So if he decides to do a dirty crypto, we have it. I need to do a rescrape of his profile actually, and that's become a bit of a learning or slash training data for this chatbot, as well as so many other community members' efforts like Dr. Pekka and Bavarian Whale and Jack LDA. And that's kind of all informed the learning of this chatbot. It's still not loading for me for some reason, which is a shame. Can you hear me? You still there? I hope.
Theoretically,
Yes, can hear you. Yep.
Okay, cool.
I could
But
screen share the site here even.
yeah, is that possible? Yeah, you did it last time actually. I saw you
Yeah.
screen sharing the TG. If
Give
you wouldn't mind.
me a moment and I'll set it up right now. I'll just duck out and come straight back in.
If that works with you, Stephen.
To be honest, I think maybe the easiest option is if you just kind of open it up on your screen, like your website on your screen, and just talk your way through it, and I'll just try and follow. Like when you were talking about chat, for example, I'm in the chat now,
okay.
and that would probably be the easiest for me. So
I can go over it a bit quickly. All right. So yeah, I guess the homepage, obviously you got the chat there, with some suggestive prompts to go through the different exploits, quote unquote exploits, I should say. I've made some recent updates so it scrolls properly. I don't know if you use it on mobile, but when I input a prompt before, it would scroll automatically down, which was annoying. So I fixed that. I think the to me the chat's kind of nice, right? But it's still going to kind of guess. I'm trying to set up guardrails so it doesn't hallucinate. But again, a majority of the research is in the menu there on the top right. Obviously, you've got the chat, and then the exploits menu item there kind of showcases a lot of pDAI's history, and the exploits history, all the way from the EABB wallet minting. I think it was like 9 billion pDAI in the first month of the launch of PulseChain, all the way from there to 5996's exploit. And you'll see, wallet connections and even the recent discovery. I thought that was gold, personally. Seeing the fact that EABB, the minter, quote unquote minter exploiter, that he was selling obviously into the pDAI pool with Pulse, and it was basically a direct transfer of that to Maria at the time. Maria absorbed about 30% of the dumping and bought during that window of minting. I believe like 76% of the purchases made by Maria were when the minting had occurred. Bought the all-time low, which created that 555,555x bottom. And I confirmed that the other day. I thought that was extraordinary. On the dot, 0.0000183 times by that multiplier gives you $1, $1.0006 or something, which is quite incredible. Anyway, so I digress. But yeah, so there's that page. It goes through all the exploits, all the links as well. I've kind of concentrated on including all the auto-scan links, which is important, I think, to confirm for yourselves. The timeline, I'm kind of bouncing here, but the timeline is a work in progress. I kind of want to visualize, like even where Maria was buying, it'd be nice to have that visualized on the graph, and all the other events, of course, with like a pop-up to go to, relevant links. The Pioneers live page, so you can see all the Pioneer activity live, updates every 15 seconds. And you see like the 6 wallets that are the Pioneers, Pioneers, as Sami says. Obviously a Tropa, which is a very big part of this. Binance tweets, I think they're interesting. I don't think there's a lot of weight placed on that, but I screenshot all the Binance tweets related to pDAI. obviously RH's Twitter storm, and then the SparkFi. So, I mean, I can go into detail, but I think it's kind of worth a read for yourselves. It might be worth screen sharing the tweets actually, because I thought they're quite interesting. Again, like Quinky Dink, right? All these coincidences.
Which tweets did you want to screen share?
The Binance ones, please. The connect the dots, unlock your future. That one, that piece there is absolutely gold, in my opinion. What do you think about these, Stephen? Have you had much? Do you have any thoughts about these coincidences? That second tweet there of Binance.
I mean, it's kind of wild, I have to say. I mean, but some of them are just like, what? You know, it really does seem like they're communicating with us, but it just seems too good to be true in some ways as well. But
I know. Obviously, botch just spelt wrong, but that could be deliberate. The fact that Heartcoin forms that infinity loop is absolutely incredible, and I've visualized that there. Tried to, and the other pieces. I mean, the other ones kind of nod to us a bit. Some of them are a stretch, I'm not going to lie. But that one, that crossword puzzle, is incredible to me, and the fact that CZ follows Somi, which is kind of funny. And that he was listening to your stream, Stephen.
yeah, you were the one that spotted it.
Yeah. Whether it was a glitch, I don't know. I know I definitely saw what I saw, but I mean, does that glitch like that? Don't think so. But yeah, and then Richard Hart's tweets, of course. I just love going through these because they're almost like indirect signals, in my opinion. Like the how to get your stickers up real high. If you go to the RH tweets menu item, click that, and then go to the third tweet there. That one again to me is just ridiculous with the pegging train. I mean, I can't believe we're talking about this. It's just silly, but it's there. I mean, how it's clear as day, in my view. But yeah, that's the site in general. I also have a website called. I end up buying PulseChain.au to try and rank for that on Google, especially for the Australian users. You can navigate there if you want, which is it's less pDAI related, but there is a dedicated pDAI page. So it's PulseChain.au, and that contains basically a Go Pulse. It could be handy actually for everyone because I was trying to find an alternative to Go Pulse. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just create my own, and you can add your wallet in there. You can see your stakes. There's a page dedicated to pDAI, which shows there's actually a ladder, that fiat currency ladder that was created on that Somi suggested doing, so I included that there, and also the correlation with the other P stables. So I don't know if you're sharing that now.
No, sorry. Which part was that, Mick?
Oh
Sorry,
no, it's on. No, it's right. It's on PulseChain.au.
Gotcha. I'll
Sorry,
see if
yeah,
I can
different
bring
site.
that up.
It's pretty handy. I mean, there are other sites, but um, they're pretty good. I'm a bit biased, but I enjoy navigating them. Yeah, PulseChain.au.
You Aussies are knocking it out of the park. You really are.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, man. This site is. I'm just opening up PulseChain.au now, but the pDAI site. That was the pDAI guide. That's beautifully
Yeah, no,
put together. Really good
yeah, thanks.
information too. Well done.
Thank you. Again, like it's everyone. There's a few kind of community members contributed to that, so I won't take all the credit. But no, I appreciate the feedback. It's also someone mentioned in the Telegram that it's also a good conviction play, right? Whenever you're in doubt, always refer back to this evidence that we have here now, undeniable evidence of all these different bits and pieces that do point to something a bit sus. So at the very least. But yeah, let me know if you have any feedback for it. I'm of course open to making any edits, especially seeing that there is getting it is getting quite a bit of use, which is positive.
What are the costs like, Michael? I mean, is it running up quicker than you thought, or is it
Now
as
it
you
is.
expected? Yeah.
Well, because I feel like the platform that I built it with, the credits in which you use to build the site are also being used for this AI consumption, right? And that was a recent update, so it's sifting through them really quickly. But I've topped it up since, thanks to your kind donation. So, I mean, every day probably. I mean, we saw a spike. It's hard to say. Maybe $5 a day. Recently, I would say it's been about $5 a day. And that's what you probably many of you probably saw that there was a probably said something like upstream error, and that was as a result of a depletion in credits. But that's since been resolved. But you're kind of looking about $2 to $5 a day. But it depends again on popularity. So
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to continue donating to it because I make great use of it myself, but I feel everyone else should also. So I kind of, I'm not sure if the word is responsibility, but if it's being pushed in the Telegram as a resource, then I feel like I should bear some of the cost of that because I will continually direct new people toward it as a
I see.
resource, you know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
So I think,
Also,
yeah.
I thought about the idea of because I've developed some like clothing in the past, and to have like a revenue stream, even to keep that alive, maybe run a like an apparel, pDAI apparel or something that actually kind of looks half decent, possibly, and have the profits go into the initiative that we've got going here. Just a thought. I mean,
That's a good idea.
Use a print on
Confirm with,
demand model.
confer with Stephen because I think Stephen would know a good bit about that from the pDAI conference, and
Oh, yeah.
maybe and plus
Yeah.
you're both in Oz and you know all about shipping and etc. You might know what the costs are more, so that could be a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. I think to support it, it's a good idea. I mean, I was using Printify. I found
Yeah.
that their products were the best for what I wanted. I bought a few different products, and they just happened to have the best T-shirts and types of hats. So I think it was Printify. I'll double check. But yeah, that worked quite well during the conference, shilling it, and then all the proceeds went to the pDAI badges. So yeah, I mean,
cool.
I think
Of course, there's aspect too. I forgot about the badges. Yeah, even that's quite an investment, isn't it?
it
Good on you
is.
for
It's
doing
like
that, by the way.
$660 a year. So
How much?
$660 a year, I think, in US.
Yeah, so that's
So it's quite
$1,000 for us.
expensive. Yeah, exactly. So
Not cheap.
yeah, no.
Again, like reach out if you need, if you need some additional remuneration. We're all in this together. So, with regards to raising funds for that aspect, of course.
Yeah, well, when we do the next pDAI conference, we'll probably end up going through the same process, I would say. I think it works really well to do it in that manner. And just hopefully hopefully we can pick people who maybe have been here this whole entire time, because we gave badges to people that, like Sir Nathan Dog, and obviously, everything that happened with him. So, yeah, kind of a half-wasted badge, you could say. So, and I think maybe there was someone else that I can't remember off the top of my head who also...
Dirty Crypto?
Yeah, that's it, Dirty Crypto. Gosh,
Yeah.
gone but not forgotten. My goodness.
There's so many names, aren't there? Jeez. So many names.
It's the best story, bro. It's the best story.
Mate. been a long journey. So
You should probably have that somewhere on your pDAI guide as well, just like
it's like
the
a gravestone
lore, like-
emoji, and the
yeah, man.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Gone from it, but not forgotten. Why not? Wouldn't be hard.
Exactly. All the former. I mean, even Cash Money. I heard, but he's still
Wow,
around.
that's true. Yeah,
I'm glad he's still around, actually. But yeah,
a lot of tweets that I go through, because I often go through the depths of Twitter and pDAI, and a lot of the tweets that I reference are dirties, and I click it and I realize, this would be handy to have this information, but it's gone. That's the other thing. Like, all this work he's put in is no longer public for everyone to see, which is kind of a shame. But anyway, his legacy will not be forgotten. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, definitely not. He was doing lots of content for it, so
he was very articulate, very good speaker too. He was, it's a shame. He was very sudden as well. It was interesting. Do you remember what triggered his departure? Was it the PComp takeover? I think it was around that time. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't recall, to be honest. I can't remember.
what were you going to say, Osprey? It was a little while ago now, but
I was going to ask Stephen how Brisbane fared for him.
How? What? Sorry.
I was going to ask you, how did Brisbane fare? Did you you did a DeFi
Oh yes.
sort of convention? I wondered how you got on.
Yeah, that was really fantastic. Thanks for asking. No, it was a brilliant event. It was really nice to gather the community in that way, and probably didn't have the numbers that I had hoped for in my mind, but I was still very happy with what we had. We had about 20 people, and then a few of the boys who bought tickets, they couldn't come because the driver got sick. So that was a bit of a shame for them. But no, it was a fantastic event. And again, we learnt a lot from the event. We really learnt that the Q&As at the end, or the AMAs at the end, is where the real gold is. And like most of these types of group chat scenarios, nobody wants to get the ball rolling, but once the ball is rolling, then everybody's contributing, which is really, really lovely. So we went over time, and the poor lady there, she was a bit, you could hear her stomping around in the back, and I was like, we really have to finish this. I feel really bad for her. She was hanging around for us because, she was basically opening the event. But no, it was fantastic. It was really good. There was some good gold in there, and really building that momentum is the next stage. So now within the Telegram, the conversation has really continued from that event, which has been really good. Whereas the Perth one, the very first one in Perth earlier in the year, there hasn't been a lot of momentum in the Telegram chat. So now that momentum is really starting to shift with, it's just 2 or 3 people that are really involved. And that's really all it takes, because you're not going to have every person in there saying something all the time. But as long as there's 2 or 3 people keeping the conversation going, then it's really good. So we're going to start to have our own voice chats as well in there. We're going to have our first one this Saturday night at 8 p.m. and just going over some things that the community are asking for, and then maybe doing that once a month. So then by the time we get to these events, there's already some momentum behind it, whereas every previous event that we've done, it's really just been, heavy marketing by me in the weeks leading up to it. Whereas now I'm starting that process already. I'm planting seeds on YouTube. I'm planting seeds on X. I've already sent the emails out from Brisbane to like news places and media outlets. So yeah, just going to continue that momentum, and the discussions that we have during the voice chats as well should hopefully prime people's minds for the events themselves as well. So yeah, we learned a lot. there's a few things that we're going to cut out of it and adjust based on the feedback that we got. Things like mission statements and clarity of, because a lot of people, they just sort of came to support. They heard about it, or they've seen me talk about it, so they didn't really know what it was about. They didn't know what to expect, but they loved it. But they said even still, like, if you had like a mission statement at the start, just to make things clear, and explaining a little bit more about the basics of crypto, because there was someone there, like one of my meditation members, he came along, so I invited him along. Someone bought a ticket, and it was a free ticket. So I said, do you want to come? So he came, and he'd never experienced crypto in his life, and he knows that I'm really into it. So having just a few slides in the presentation, just explaining the basics of what Bitcoin is, what Ethereum was, and how it brought about smart contracts. So we really learned a lot, and we're already, just rolling with it now. The momentum is really good and really strong, because we're already immediately planning the next one in Sydney. It's going to be on the 12th of September. So hopefully, I think you said you'll be able to come to that one, Mick. So yeah, it should be really good. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a bit quieter, a bit more intimate. I think we might change the setting, but it will be a very similar format. So we'll do group discussions, and then we're going to do like the AMA at the end, but we're going to allocate more time for that AMA, because both times in Perth as well, it was the same. It really, we really kind of had to cut it short in some ways. So yeah,
good on you for doing that. It's nice. It's nice to be able to connect with like-minded people IRL, because there aren't that many of us IRL. I don't know about you, but my circle, there's very little.
Definitely, man. Like that's that's probably the most common feedback that we get, actually, that people are just liking being in an environment where there's people that they can relate to, because mostly our families don't understand. Most of our friends think it's a Ponzi, rightly so.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Have you heard about 100%. This unbacked stablecoin?
Yeah, it's to the point where I don't even bother anymore, because the people that you just know what they're like. So it's like, don't even, unless the green candles are there, then it's like, oh, you should have told me. I'm like, yeah, well, you wouldn't have made a move anyway, so by the top.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, it is really nice being in an environment where you can connect with those people already. You have that established connection, and then just building on that. And it's really just a matter of just bit by bit. And if we really believe that this DeFi is going to take off, which for me it absolutely seems inevitable, then to me this is how it's going to start. This is how it's, not how it's going to start, but this is how it can really spread, because the atmosphere that's created in these types of community events is really powerful, and people there, they want to protect their friends and families. They've all been through the pain and the suffering of being rug pulled and scammed and all of these things, which is just very common in crypto. And they want to be, they want to help and protect their friends and family and anyone in the future from going through the pain that they did. So I think the foundation is really, really good. And really, it's just persistence, right? And continuing this, not just once, not just twice, but really until it's established and deeply rooted in the country. So it's very, very exciting to be a part of the momentum that's happening, the shifts that are happening in life. It's really wonderful. So yeah.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt every day is more digital than the last. I think that's undeniable. I think it's inevitable. I think the market's being very irrational. And I also think that crypto is almost like, again, I feel like we've said this before, but it's a bit of a big fuck you to in my eyes. It's like, I'm not fucking buying into the property Ponzi that you boomers have purported through money printing. I'm not buying the top of that market. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, screw you. We're getting into what's now. We're getting into, the future of money. We're not joining that. Anyway, I feel very strongly about the property market. But anyway, I digress.
And I mean, the signs definitely seem to be there. Just the manner in which crypto was suppressed versus every other asset over the last few years. I mean, the way Bitcoin pumped is okay, that's one thing. But when you look at the performance of Ethereum, and then when you hear basically anyone in the TradFi world talking about Ethereum, their perspective on Ethereum is that it's basically going to be, at the very least, like the first place where there's going to be the tokenization of real world assets and bonds and stocks, and everything's going to be put onto Ethereum. So when you look at the suppression of Ethereum over the last few years compared to every other asset class, it's like, to me, it seems very clear that there's like a deliberate and concerted effort to keep things low so that they can come in and swoop as much as they possibly can to dominate as much as they possibly can. So it kind of just makes me more optimistic and bullish, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Opposite and equal reaction, right? I mean, we've been held down here for so long. The spring is only getting more powerful. That's the way I see it, at least. Once it's released, I think, we can't, consumer sentiment will not be this low forever. That's the other thing. You get your highs and lows, and we've been at this low for quite some time, but it won't be here forever. And that's why I keep DC buying, as we always do. But hopefully, the next few months, we start to see more of a reversal. I mean, the others versus BTC is kind of illustrating that as we speak, as well as the PMI or the ISM printing 53 recently. And the previous 3 prints each month were above 50, so that's positive. The balance sheet slowly going up. And the Bitcoin dominance showing a bearish trend. So it's all, it's all kind of swinging into our favor. But just got to cross our fingers and wait, really. It's just time.
Exactly. There's really, I mean, yeah, every day that we're low is another day to accumulate. So, in 5-10 years time, we'll probably be kicking ourselves that we weren't able to pick up more, or we didn't get another job and lose sleep to earn extra money. So yeah, these opportunities I'm very grateful for them personally.
Can I
I
make
think it's true.
a little suggestion? Something I was thinking about last week in relation to awareness raising for the Australian DeFi community. So I know we're here in this super digital environment, but local radio, and I have this from experience, but local radio in Oz is still pretty huge. Last I was aware, and this is many years ago, but there was around something like 12 million Aussies were radio listeners. And one station in particular we just kind of built a relationship with was Triple M. And they have like, I think they have something like, well, their demographic is mostly guys and age between sort of 25 to 50, say.
Yeah, that makes sense. 104.9, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, they have. I think their listenership when last I was aware was something like anywhere between like 80 to 100,000 listenership, which is pretty awesome. But maybe you could seriously look at like the local radio angle. Like a lot of people still listen to radio in the car on the way to work, at work, if they're like subbies or contractors driving machinery, whatever. It's really effective for promoting local events, and it kind of builds familiarity quickly. So people hear about your events regularly on a station that they already listen to. It starts to feel more real rather than some other thing they saw on Twitter or Telegram. Like we found it particularly useful. So I think you would reach people who are interested in finance and DeFi, but just aren't super active in online crypto communities. I think there's a great catchment there. And I would say Triple M would be worth sending an email to. They have the right audience, like they have the right demographic, but like even a small sponsorship or a couple of mentions during the right time slots, that could get the word out to the right people in Perth and other cities. And it doesn't have to be expensive. Just, even reaching out and seeing what options they have for community events or small sponsorships could be a smart move. Good to,
Yeah,
good
brilliant.
to test it in one city first, and I think that'd be worth looking at. I always thought radio is powerful, like, and even here in my country, radio is like number one here. Everyone listens to the radio.
Yeah, great suggestion. If you have radio stations that you can suggest, Mick, from Sydney that you think would be suitable, Triple M, is that in Sydney?
Yep. Yeah, Triple M.
Okay, I'll look into it. I'll reach out to them, tell them we're a non-profit organization. Yeah, see how that goes. That's a really great idea, actually, because I mean, tradies are always listening to. I mean, tradies is not the only people that do crypto, obviously, but they have the radios on all day. There's a lot of construction happening everywhere. The demographics fits perfectly because 25 to 50 is male dominant is pretty much. I mean, that's crypto, right? So, or at least this type of crypto. So, yeah, that's a really, really good suggestion. So, thanks, Osprey.
Welcome, man. We had good experience with radio. I think it's sticking around definitely where I am, and it's not expensive to advertise, especially when they're community events. You go into a different bracket for that, and there's often some little discussions around it too. They might say, "Would you come in and have a chat with us?" You never know. You never know what they'll say. It could be you kick yourself for not trying to find out anyway. I wish you a lot of luck with that.
Yeah, thank you. And I think, if we can come at it from a particular angle of cost of living, which is housing affordability, these are some big issues in the Australian psyche at the moment. So I think we can definitely try.
I've sent out many emails and messages to people in the legal realm and political realm as part of the Clarity Act VC. Not one response, Stephen. And it's good outreach too. It's really genuine outreach, and nobody wants to play ball. I actually put out eight inquiries since last, and it's just crickets,
Wow. So no, like literally no response. No, we'll get back to you. Just nothing.
Nothing, zero.
Oh, wow.
I even wondered, is that a talking point in itself? It's like, what's going on? They're very loud on X with opinions, which is fine. It's their corner, but they won't look to engage with a community that doesn't want to talk about DAI. It doesn't. That's not the purpose of the exercise. It's just to be better informed about the legal or political side of Clarity Act. I would have thought that would be something they would jump at. You know what I mean? But I think maybe it's about a risk of association. Maybe that's how they see it. But I made it very, very clear in the outreach that it would be the session would be purely about things from their angle, their perspective, not ours, saying, "Hey, how does this quantify around DAI? Let's talk about DAI." I think it would be a lot better to put this together on their terms. But even that, there's not even any response. I find it very unusual.
Do you think it's a monetary thing? I mean, they're all lawyers. No offense to lawyers, but I can't consider a lawyer wanting to give free advice.
Well, the last one, the Amanda, I may get her surname wrong, Tibaruni or Tibarani. I offered to make a donation to the non-profit that they represent. I was going to do that out of my own pocket, but even that didn't it didn't invite a response anyway. I was very surprised.
Wow. Okay. So, and there is I think the 18th of July, there's going to be something for it. I think I heard that today. So, that can't be right. That's a Saturday. Yeah, maybe we're going to have to end up doing it ourselves.
It feels like it, like we do everything else by ourselves, and we've done pretty good so far. I mean, we've some great minds in this community. People who reason well and discuss very well together, and we're good at middle ground as well. You know, I think between us all, we do aim for the middle ground as best we can. And maybe we're perfectly capable of putting it on ourselves, but it's a shame. It's a shame that no one has responded.
Yeah, that is a shame. I was hopeful that we could get some kind of legitimate advice, or just not advice, but just some sort of legitimate opinions. But yeah, maybe we're just gonna have to do it ourselves. And I think we just don't have a choice, and that's okay.
Maybe let's wait until I think there's a new version of the bill that could be released as soon as maybe next week, like July 20th, 21st, something like that. And maybe on the strength of that, we then put on a VC all about Clarity Act. And we go back to what we were organizing before. I think that could be the way to do it. But I just like to see what comes out of this potential new version of the bill. It's today, so
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
yeah.
Well, I was wondering, perhaps, I was going to ask earlier, but I can't remember what happened. But yeah, Bavarian also made another website. I don't know if he's still around, or if he wants to come up and have a bit of a chat about it.
It's actually both of us have a website, right, Stephen?
I mean, you put my name there. I came up with the idea. I gotta love that. But you produced it a lot faster than I was anticipating.
Maybe Stephen, it's a good topic. So, as everybody might know, I started the journey with the analyst's path, and Stephen then kind of invited me or asked me whether we could do a project together, right, Stephen?
Correct.
And then we just a second. So somebody's on the front door, so I have to open it. I'm back in a few minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is the anyone who's watching on Twitter. This is the on-chain analyst pass. So this was his first one, and then I was listening to something on YouTube, and they said one of the best things that you can do with Claude Code is do things together with others. I thought, oh, that's a great idea. So then I reached out to Bavarian, and we were thinking about, okay, maybe we should have a discussion. And then I was just came up with an idea, and he ended up doing it in like a day. I was like, oh wow.
So yeah. So Stephen came up with the topic that maybe. So that the purpose is that it should be something like the analyst's path. It always the focus is always the community. So how can we give something to the people out to help understanding stuff and to not get yeah, how should I say it, scammed or whatever. So the first topic Stephen mentioned was something in regards to the liquidity pool. So what is a liquidity pool? How does it function? What's in it for? How can you read it and stuff like this? Right, Stephen?
Yeah, that's correct. So the idea that I was thinking of was basically, what would be a good place for community to move liquidity to protect the system, or remove liquidity to protect the system, or just anything along those lines, where we could basically collaborate with the liquidity and have something that we can visualize and see.
All right. So this was the first topic, and I created something which covers this topic, but we are not done yet, of course. And the idea behind is that it's an official website, so everybody can visit the website and can use it for free, of course. And it's basically a mixture out of a theory, what's behind those topics, and that you can use it, for example, to look at a liquidity pool, to know who are the heavy hitters in this liquidity pool. So which are the wallets who provide the most of the liquidity, for example. And so this project will, let's say, grow with different topics. And our thought was, or Stephen's thought was, that we ask right away the community. So what would be the most beneficial thing for you guys out there, which would help you? I also thought about kind of a token scanner that you type in a contract address, and you immediately see the distribution of the tokens. Is it mintable? So is it a potential honeypot or not? And so we can grow this website with different topics around, which hopefully guides guys through those different topics. That's about it.
Yeah, so obviously while we've got the community, does anyone have requests or things that, in relation to liquidity and liquidity pools and pDAI and information that they think, oh, I wish I was able to visualize this very easily, or I wish I could see that? I'm just out of curiosity.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey, Sadie.
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I was actually talking to my friend something on this topic about putting together something that would chart the liquidity pools for PulseChain, so you could see the historic of it. Because I mean, maybe it's already out there, but from my understanding, my knowledge, that there's only, you can only see what the liquidity pool is it right at this moment, but you can't really see how the change has, if anything's been added or taken out through time.
That is a cool idea. That's an interesting idea.
So I think my friend built an agent system. It's pretty interesting. I won't really go into it right now. It's really complex. My friend is like a really just naturally talented mathematician, um, and I think you guys would probably be interested in what he's built, but it's not. He hasn't done anything about it yet. We've been uh, pretty much using it for uh, our business that we have, but he had started a kind of like a rough draft of it already. Maybe he can share the code with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to try and. I mean, I don't know what I'd be able to do for Math Genius. Is he just time poor? Is he or?
Yeah, a little bit. He has his day job too, so um, he gets off like kind of early evenings. Um, but the thing is, like, he's set it up so where he can kind of work. He can have the agents work on it while he's at work. And then he goes home and just tidies things up and double checks everything. So there's a possibility that with maybe you guys' input, it could help expedite it. Or it could be just handed off to you guys and you guys integrate it into whatever else other ideas there are. That could be like a feature.
Yeah, sounds like it's worth at least having the conversation with him.
Or you guys just take the idea and do it in a day.
It's a very
True.
cool. I like the idea of visualizing the LP and the amount of which over time. That could be interesting to see for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like a community hive mind of some description, like the opposite of the pDAI FUD wave. Richard was telling everyone to remove liquidity, and so everybody did that. The liquidity went really low, but then, could there ever be an instance in the future where it's like, hey, we should definitely put liquidity in this pool because of reason A, B, and C, and it's going to support pDAI in some way, shape, or form. It's just, yeah, thinking along those kinds of lines that we could form like a hive or a swarm of liquidity that can move from pool to pool as needed. So I think it's worth exploring.
Yeah. Why not? Even just seeing, the liquidity of P copies in general. It kind of reminds me of when the PRV takeover happened. The only reason why it happened is because when Richard put PRV and PLS pool kind of liquidity in there for the space of 7 days, that pool basically it was purchased. This guy, the exploiter, quote unquote exploiter, purchased, I think it was like 300,000 PRV at the time. It's almost like Richard handed him the keys. It's really in that regard because he just started buying it up and then took over PRV, and then Richard pulled the liquidity immediately after. But even just that as a bit of a graph showing the liquidity would be interesting to see over time. seeing what it is now.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, I mean, yeah, I'd love to see that process and being able to maybe even extrapolate different kinds of wallets. For example, you could see, okay, what was Maria doing with liquidity at this time and that time, and the data's out there, but being able to visualize it with the click of a button, I think could be
Yeah,
quite interesting.
it's all very possible now too. You're right. Because finding the data that I found recently, that was pretty like it was easy with Claude, and I'm sure if we can isolate his wallets, we'll be able to reproduce something similar like what you've suggested. It's a good point.
Mick, so you put all that website together with Claude?
Well, the data was gathered with Claude, so Claude was the primary like blockchain explorer, if you will. You use the RPC and API to scan through all the data, and then I used what's called lovable.dev to develop the website. It's very, very good.
Okay. Do you have a Pro or a Max account on Claude?
It depletes
Okay.
pretty quickly, the credits. I don't know if have you tried it? It's quite amazing.
Yeah, I'm on Pro, and yeah, it's kind of like every day I'm hitting the
I
limit.
know. It's very. They went through a period where they were apologizing to their users because it was just getting ridiculous, and it's almost like we're at that again now. You got to be very careful in the way you use them. It's like you got to, yeah, you got to be very conservative. I'm trying to be, but yeah, it's almost. But Max is like what 10x the cost of Pro. I think it's like
That's the problem. Exactly. The
USD.
next one up's huge.
I'm sure it's
My,
deliberate.
my friend's got the Max account
Oh, is
on
that how
Claude.
he's? Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
Letting agents run in the background.
yeah, he just hits the he'll sometimes hit the weekly cap, but
Oh yeah.
by then he'll hit it on like a Sunday. So we just have to wait a day and then it resets.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he's been using Fable because they dropped that back in, and I think they're supposed to take it back out for a second.
Yeah, I did notice that they were threatening to do that.
Yeah, I think at first it was because of the power it gave to the people. They were like, this is too much, but then they did something, they capped that, and then now it's just like a matter of their server space, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't used it yet. Has your mate? Or have you used it? Is it any good compared to?
I haven't used it, but I've been kind of just overseeing what he's been making, and it's pretty cool. He has like 40 agents working that can all be allocated. They all work together. He's assigned characters and roles and responsibilities to each one, and they all challenge each other. Or there's like a hierarchy system. He created a white paper for it, but I don't know if he wants, if it's okay for me to share that yet. But it's actually my friend that introduced me to PulseChain. I've been trying to get him back in. He hasn't sold or anything, but yeah, he started trading options and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Is
I'm
it
like,
him or Claude trading?
come back to the light side. He brought me here, and I'm trying to bring him back. But no, he has interest in like the liquidity pool thing that I was talking about. Um, but yeah, it's just a matter of getting him into it. I don't know if there's oh, are new people not being added to the Telegram still, or if I shoot him an invite, would he be able to join this group?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as he hasn't been blocked or banned prior. But there is kind of currently, because we've been receiving a lot of spam bots, we've had to gate it with they have to be accepted manually by admins, but that's just to prevent, you know, getting spam attacked by bots.
Cool.
So yeah,
So if I get his
if
if I get his handle and then send it to you or Osprey, would it be able to get accepted?
into the group, yeah. If you just send him the link, we can add him. We just have to
Okay.
request to join.
I don't know if he's
Sure.
up right now, so
I'm not.
I might have to do it tomorrow or something.
I'm not sure if the Telegram links are working at the moment because of the registry shutdown.
Oh,
You may.
okay.
I'm not quite sure how it works anymore with sending links to Telegram.
Interesting. Yeah,
I'm
there's
sure
another
there's
friend
another way.
there's another friend earlier this week that I sent a link to, and he said it never worked. I don't know how hard he tried to open the link or anything, but yeah.
Send us
Okay.
on the account names, and we'll make sure they get
Copy
in.
that. Copy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I implore everyone, especially in the IT space, to really get involved with Claude Code, because it's kind of like, you know, you get left behind if you don't kind of jump on board with this. In my opinion, it's made my work life a lot easier, especially. But again, I can understand too. It's not cheap. Plus, you reach the cap pretty quickly. As we talked about.
Yeah, well, that's why I was just curious to ask you because, because I'm the same with Claude, and I mean it's phenomenal. The documents it produces, the coding that it does, it's opened up a whole new world of addiction for me. So it's I'm kind of glad the credits run out, to be honest, because otherwise I won't be sleeping.
So true. Yeah, no, that's right. I was up to 12:30 a.m., which is pretty late for me. But yeah, I'm glad the credits run out. Otherwise, you're just on there all the time. I'm on there all the time because once you start digging, especially into the blockchain, you're like, well, you know, Maria bought here. I wonder, you know, where did you get the cash from? And then you find out where you got the cash from. Then it kind of opens up another path you want to go down. And then every prompt is credits, and it's all done in GitHub, so it pushes all the new research into MD files, which cost more credits. And it's just a whole giant racket.
So it will connect to the RPC, and you're basically, is it, show me this wallet, what they were doing, basically. Is that kind of how you would have done that research with Maria, for example?
Yeah, it was very easy to do. I have to get it, and it required very little direction. Just gave it the wallet address of Maria, gave it some dates as well.
Free my boy Crumpet. You guys are all fucking drinking too much Kool-Aid in here. Free Crumpet.
The fuck's Crumpet?
What's Crumpet?
I don't know who that guy is.
I thought I saw him before. He seemed to be well behaved for a while there. Anyway,
Crumpets are delicious, though, with some butter and jam.
I do agree, Stephen. They are one of my favorites, I have to say.
So I'm doing laundry as we speak.
But yeah, going back to that AI conversation, obviously one of the things that I've been contemplating is using different models because I've got Grok access, pretty good Grok access because I've got Twitter Premium, but it's still not as good as Claude, even with the planning of the things that you want to code, and it's just not as good.
Yeah, I find that too. Claude's it's a bit clever in the way that it navigates even just websites kind of autonomously. That's where I've seen its value, and then it creating its own Python scripts and then running those in the background, because I'll oftentimes do that to make the process a bit faster. Yeah, to me, it's Claude's ahead, way ahead. But then you pay the price, literally. So that's the only drawback.
Yeah, I'm even contemplating maybe doing it for like a month, getting the max, and just smashing it for a month and just building out as much as I possibly can within that month, and then just going back to pro once I've got things set up, and I can just then monitor them and grow them bit by bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What are you up to? What are you using it for at the moment?
At the moment, I'm using it for a lot of things, but the main thing that I'm doing at the moment is using Claude Code to build a dashboard. So just kind of like a personal dashboard with basically just inventing something for myself with my workflows. And so, for example, if I find a good YouTube video, I'll be like, oh, this would be really good to clip. But then to actually clip it and like go through that process and then making a video and okay, which parts do I clip, and okay, this was a good part, but what other parts are there, and so on and so forth. So that whole process, just I stagnate on that process doing it manually because the effort required to do something like that with the time that I have.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I've thought about doing that too, and you got to like because the YouTube downloaders kind of suck these days, and you get to screen record your screen maybe. I've gone down those routes, and they're painful. They really are.
Exactly. But you know, if I could at least streamline the planning part, the doing part of actually once I've got the clips, then I can do a video on it. But to actually get the clips and the timing and all that kind of stuff, I'm just trying to figure out ways that I can use Claude Code. So maybe I can basically just send it a link, and then what it can do on the back end is get the transcript and then run the transcript through the AI so it can find the viral moments.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can at least, you know, at least I've got a starting point. So something along these lines for content, for example. But I mean, my brain is just very dynamic. I work on like lots of different things, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's good because there's like this cross-pollination of ideas, but it's bad because it's like, man, my brain just doesn't stop. So I'll be working on something and then I've got another idea that pops up. And so whenever I have these ideas that pop up, just being able to have an app where that's connected to my AI dashboard that I can just do a voice note and say, just basically say what that idea is, and it will automatically categorize it into the appropriate sections. So I've broken up my dashboard into like meditation, like creation, which includes Australian DeFi community, content creation, and the metaverse, and then also personal. So then I should just be able to tomorrow make sure that I get my police check or whatever it is, right? And then it will automatically know that that's going to go to my personal. So then I mean, so far just from using it, it's from what I've created so far, it's pretty awesome. Like one of the things that I'm doing with it at the moment is I've collated like a whole bunch of, I've subscribed to a whole bunch of different emails for the metaverse. So then I've got robotics, I've got artificial intelligence, I've got cryptocurrency, I've got virtual reality. So then I get those emails coming into my inbox, but I don't have time to read them all. So then I've told it to summarize everything for me and put it into a PDF format. So then it does that. And basically in the morning, I'll wake up, I do my morning trades, do what I need to do in the morning, and then I just type briefing into Claude Code, and then it gets uploaded to my dashboard, the summary, and then I go for my morning walk, get the sunlight in my eyes, touch the grass, and I've got a briefing of like, 5 or 10 emails. So it's something that basically allows me to just keep in tune with it in a way that I wasn't able to before. So that's one example. And another example is it will then take that content, turn it into an X post, and then there's another button there which will turn it into an image, and then I just put that together, and at least I've got content in the morning that's valuable content because it's like keeping things up to date. So just experimenting with it at the moment, and it's really like the sky is the limit. Whatever your mind can think of, you could almost make it, basically. I mean, there's going to be some limitations, but even on that, it's really like making me realize just how alpha mindset is. I mean, when computers can do everything for you, it's the operator, it's the brain that's operating the computer and the AI that's going to be the most valuable thing, in my opinion, because everybody can use the AI, but the brain that is using the AI is the thing that's going to have the true value. So, yeah, again, it always just goes back to the mind for me. So I'm just loving it.
Yeah, no, nice. Yeah, totally agree. I kind of look at it as very cheap labor units. You know, it's like a very cheap Fiverr person, but very, very smart. With our own personal assistant. Yeah, it's quite incredible. I might try that. I like the idea of kind of automatically segmenting tasks. Because you're right, the idea of that shiny object syndrome, we kind of like doing one task and like, oh, that looks exciting, and you move on. I do that too. It's one of my weaknesses, I must say. But
Yeah, it's a bit of a contradiction for me because I'm very focused, but my brain just still interconnects everything. So I'm also finding like clustering certain tasks together, which I wouldn't have thought to do in the past. So like, oh, if I'm working with AI, you know, maybe I'm doing Claude code here, and while that's loading, I'm producing an image on ChatGPT, and while that's loading, then I'm researching something about the Atropa ecosystem on a Claude browser. So like my efficiency is really, it's really accelerating a lot. So it's just beautiful. I'm curious, Mick. So besides the research stuff, what kind of things have you found? Like, has there been anything that's been like a wow, I can't believe that this is possible kind of moment for you?
good question. I think a moment of when, because I have like a business on the side, doesn't make much income, but like I hadn't done the taxes for it for over 3 years, and the ATO called me about it. But again, it was like about under 10K worth of income. But anyway, there was like 40 PDFs of invoices, even more, like 50 that I'd charged clients with, an abundance of invoices, all of which that were like sometimes they're in reimbursements for softwares that I charged them from. Some of them were duplicates, and you know, version 1, version 2 of the same invoices. It was a dog's breakfast, and I was stressing my shit because I didn't want to spend any more money on an accountant, and even an accountant would be like, "What the fuck is this? Like, this is going to cost a lot." Anyway, I just fed it all to Claude, asked it to print out, basically organize all the invoices, print a balance sheet, because I didn't even have a balance sheet for it. And then it just spat out the most organized, very well written, reorganized my files, cleaned it all up in a matter of minutes. I don't know, that maybe it's just for me because I've been using the AIs a lot. That was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. Just accessing all my files on my PC, reorganizing them, and then doing what an accountant would have done in, you know, a matter of like days to work out what was going on. So there's that. For work, I use it to convert articles into social media carousels, and I've actually given it like certain design parameters, my brand, like the company brand, to ensure that it designs a specific, you know, like with specific fonts and colors and things like that, particular padding around and whatnot. And even that saves a hell of a lot of time. Because when it comes to articles, you don't share articles on social media. Usually you want to turn it into a format that people will absorb within the app itself. And yeah, so using it for that too has been incredible. Obviously, blockchain exploring is another one that we talked about. So yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, that carousel idea is something that I've seen and I watched again today. So I'm like, that's a great idea. That's a great idea for content creation. And on the tax thing as well, man, that's brilliant. Like that, everything that you just described is like a dream come true, really, as far as I'm concerned, because tax is an absolute nightmare to do. And another thing that you can do, which someone's told me about, my boy James Chong, but I haven't done it yet. But you can plug in like these crypto tax calculators to your Claude, and it will, like, I don't know about you guys, but you know, I've got several wallets with tax tokens in them as well, and I got over 10,000 transactions for 1 year, and I'm like, man, where the fuck do I even start to do this? And the end result, if you just let it do its thing automatically, the end result is like so completely inaccurate. I'm like, where the hell do I even start? Like, this whole thing is just full of errors. But apparently you can just plug it into your Claude and it will basically help you figure everything out super easy. So yeah, that's kind of my next step with Claude as well eventually. So
I hadn't considered it for that. That's a very good idea. You can
yeah, apparently
these SaaS companies falling under, because like, why would you pay for, you know, software as a service, like you know, like crypto tax, or even like more basic softwares like that, when you can just make it yourself? You know what I mean? And that's what you're talking about there. Like, there are paid services that do that, but when you can get a bot to do it for $5, essentially, with the credits you're spending, why wouldn't you? I haven't even said it.
Exactly. So, I mean, at the moment, it's plugging into the actual website. So I think it uses its its API. But eventually, it probably will get to that point. It'll get to that point with everything. Like, I'm of the opinion that SaaSes are going to be not obsolete, but I mean, you can just do anything. You can do anything. Like, why would I want to use Notion, for example, when Notion doesn't work for me because this thing here doesn't really quite match the way that my brain works? But instead of using Notion, I can just make my own thing that's even better than Notion, and it's perfectly suited to me. Like, who wouldn't do that?
Exactly. Yeah, when you were talking about your kind of workflow, building a custom app like that, I'm thinking, damn, like, even if it would just boost my productivity by 5% a day, it's quite substantial. Right, and it's something you want to be in. I don't know about you, but working in Notion, it kind of feels a bit like work or something, you know what I mean? Whereas if you can build something that's a little bit more customized for you, yeah, it's a very good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'll send you the I'll do it in a moment. Actually, I'll send you I'm doing like a thread on my X to basically document the process of what I've done. It's not to say that you should copy it word for word or anything, but at least you can kind of see the flow, because it kind of sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's like, oh, I'm building an operating system for myself. It sounds like this complicated task, but Claude's just doing everything. It's just like one piece at a time. You just do it one bit at a time. You don't do the whole thing at once, and you just layer it up, and then restructure it, and then layer it up, restructure it, so on and so forth. So, and it's so fun. It's actually so fun.
Yeah, exactly. Always get a dopamine hit. As nerdy as it sounds, but it's true. It's very, like, it's instant gratification, right? This is what it's setting into.
Big time. Like, you know, one of the things that I'm super proud of at the minute, I went to a business course years ago. Kerwin Ray, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him, RIP Kerwin, but it was like a $4,000 business course. And it was an amazing business course, and probably the best thing that I learned there was this planning technique. So this planning technique that he shared with us is what the Royal Australian Air Force uses. And he said, this is according to him, that they're the most successful organization on the planet. They've got like a 96% success rate for anything that they do. And he puts it down to their planning methodology. And basically, the planning methodology it's very simple, very elegant. So you start with your purpose. So you create a document, you start with your purpose or your vision. So this is where we want to be. So this is what people would refer to as the North Star. Then you break that down into what would be the lifetime priorities that you would need to do in order to achieve that purpose or that vision. And the bigger you make it, the better. So this is like your wildest, craziest priorities or visions. And then you break that down into 10 years. So you have your lifetime priorities, and then what would you need to do within a 10-year period to achieve those lifetime priorities? Then what would you need to do within, then you break that down into yearly, then quarterly, then monthly, then weekly, and then daily. So then psychologically, when you have this plan with you, the shitty tasks that you don't want to do, but you know that you need to do, when you're looking at your vision and your purpose, you can see, this daily task, even though it sucks, it's leading to that vision. So there's like this motivating factor to it. I've never been able to, like the idea of it was brilliant, and I've printed it, and I've printed these things, but it's never been like a living document. It gets printed, it stays on the wall, and I don't touch it, and it's like it's a stagnant document. Whereas now I've taken the document, I've plugged it into my dashboard, and my dashboard now shows that exact thing. So every day that I'm doing a daily task, it's right there. It's right there that it's feeding into that life, that vision. And so I'm, for me, that's been like one of the most exciting things about this dashboard that I've done, because it's like, oh man. And then with the power of AI, like, okay, I don't even know what I need to do if I want to achieve that vision, but now I can bloody just ask AI. Like, it's the biggest superpower. It's insane.
Yeah, no, interesting. Seeing that progression, you're right. So is that what you mean? You can kind of see your progression live with each task you commit, and then that vision gets closer, or that desired future state gets closer.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, no, I have to look into that more. I see the participants are dropping like flies.
Yeah, we've kind of taken over the chat here with AI. Sorry.
Does anyone have any questions regarding pDAI or some recent findings, or Libby swap, or Maria liquidity?
Hi guys, actually, here. I was actually quite interested about the tax dashboard thing, because I've been trying to use Claude, and I always go against a wall. I get to a point I cannot make it connect. So yeah, if you guys have more about that, yeah, I'd appreciate it, because it's been like 2-3 months since I've been having that idea, and yeah, not successful.
Let me see if I can get, I'll message him, because I actually haven't done it myself, and I was going to get him to show me, but the way that he said it was basically plugging in your API into Claude. So I'll have a chat with him and see if he can maybe even come in here and explain it. Because
but the API is like a deck screen, like CoinGecko, like a terminal.
it would be for the actual crypto tax calculator website, whatever you'd be using. So I think the one that I use is Sum, SUMM, and then I think he used the same, and then basically somehow plugged his Sum into his Claude, and it was cool. Able to just help him with
it. Yeah, because
really.
I've been using Conley over the past few years, but some tokens on PulseChain, they don't show up the prices, and as you mentioned, when he recalculates all the transactions, the number is not accurate, and yeah, we kind of quite limited with their environment. So yeah, the reason why I was trying to make my own.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, that's actually an even better idea, to be honest, to actually just make our own. That's actually oh man, that's actually an exceptionally good idea, actually. Instead of paying these things, and like you said, a lot of the PulseChain assets don't actually show up, which is potentially why my 13,000 transaction thing is so wrong, because maybe it hasn't picked up all the Atropa tokens and whatever the random shit that I've picked up on the way.
Yeah, the Atropa tokens. Yeah, sorry, I spoke over you.
No, but that's true. I think. Yeah, have you tried plugging it into the PulseChain API, Tricia? Or are you even to the Gerg?
So my approach, I think I was using star PCs. And yeah, the way I get my money into PulseChain, usually I go through Coinbase, and since they have 0 fees, then I use Liberty Swap. yeah, when it comes to the connecting the PulseChain side, I use the RPCs, but the price fetching part of it, I believe I need to use some API. There's some free APIs with some limitations.
It sounds like you've
I
been
tried.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. No, sorry, you go. I was just gonna say, it sounds like you've tried a lot more than I have with it. And you're saying that the price feeds kind of weren't accurate.
Yes, to get some sort of oracle, because like you probably have transactions from 8-9 months ago, and you need to know exactly what was the price. And at least I don't know how to get that from the PulseChain side. I don't know. There's similar relationship with the fees, the amount of fees that you pay, and WPLS is just like the baseline thing. But I was going through some APIs from Dex Screener. They have a free one in the CoinGecko terminal. I was even willing to pay them, subscribe for the API to have my personal one if I was successful with the free version. So then I'll just have to buy like a subscription API instead of buying like a $200 on some tax website. But yeah, I always end up getting stuck because I do kind of understand a bit of codes, but not fluent. And but Claude has been helpful. I get through a wall. I get to a point I just can't get any further.
Yeah, I remember Claude had to use. I could use the PulseChain RPC, but even like finding out how much Maria spent during the early days, it had to source it from. I think it was the CoinGecko terminal. I believe it kind of had to fetch the price from there. Like it wasn't easily available.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, but I'll try to go back to it because I do have the same issue with Claude and getting my tokens around on my pro version. And by the way, since we're on the AI thing, do you guys have any like idea how to deal with Claude when sometimes it does compress the chat history that you have?
Yeah, love that.
And you want to go back to something like no, there's no way around that.
This is what I'm currently doing especially with the pDAI.guide on all that research. Whenever you have some developments, store it in a MD file. Have it create an MD file. I don't know if you're doing that, and at least that way the data is not lost. So you just ask it to insert what you've learned, all this training, insert in this MD, and then it will surface that data in the next conversation that you start. So at least you're not starting from scratch. Especially if you ask it to put everything in an MD file, a .md, a markdown file. That's what. Yeah.
Cool. I never thought about that. Yeah, but it makes sense.
Are you using anti-gravity? It sounds like if it's compressing. Or are you using the browser? I've never had on the browser.
I use the app itself.
Oh, the Claude code. Oh, okay. I can't get that because my work laptop won't let me use it. I got in trouble for using Claude a month ago. But yeah, no. Try that. Try basically asking it to store the training data in markdown files, and then whenever you start a new conversation, point it to those files. That's the only other way that I think you can get around it.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll try that. So MD files, you're saying, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it loves an MD file.
All right, guys. Thanks. I don't want to interrupt anymore.
Not at all. I better sleep now anyway. It's going to get late here, so good chat. Good to speak to you both. You all. Catch you next week.
Cheers, Michael.
Good on you, Mike. See you later.
Take care.
That'll be some great footage of Michael explaining the website. Stephen, you'll be able to use that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yep. I'll repurpose that and send that out sometime over the week.
It's a quiet day today in chat. You can feel it. It's just a vibe.
It is. Yeah, where's the doc? I'm missing the doc.
He's I shouldn't speak for him, but he's good. He's doing great, is what he's doing. He's doing great. But he'll be back we were going to move the VCs or test them out on a Friday, but the uptake was super low, so I decided it's probably best to keep them going on the Tuesday as is.
True.
It would suit Doc a little better, I believe, if it were a Friday. But it is what it is. Life has its priorities too, you know. So
Of course, yeah. It's and there's not much happening really, is there? So
yeah, we'll wind it up. It's okay. We've had a good discussion on AI. Bavarian came on, that was great, and I think really the whole thing with pDAI.guide I just found invaluable. I think it's just excellent. So I'm glad Michael got a chance to speak about that, and you asked him some good questions too. So that was worthwhile, the VC itself, really, in my view.
yeah, I think so, and I think it was a good. I mean, I hope it wasn't too boring talking about the AI stuff for everyone, but I think just continuing to nurture that kind of a consciousness within the community I think it's a really, really good idea. And it's a continuation of the discussion that we had from last week. So, yeah, just getting people's minds wrapped around it and how easy it is for anyone to contribute to the community collective. That's the beauty of it. That's what's so amazing about AI. Like, you don't have to be passive anymore. You can be someone who can contribute something with ease, with just like typing a prompt. You typing a question in Telegram, you can type the same question in AI, and it can take you down a whole new world of discovery that you might end up figuring out something that you could build for the community. And who knows, one day we might end up having, I'd say almost inevitably, we would have some sort of like central pDAI hub with all the different websites that are interlinked with it and all the information. So yeah, it's never been easier to get involved.
We live in great times. If anyone has any more questions or observations, now's the time to speak up. And if we're quiet, we'll wrap it up. And Stephen, I'll send you the MP3 as always if it's of any use. They're always there. They're always there to just reach out, and I can send them straight to you anytime.
Yep, no worries. Thanks, Osprey. I mean, just this on Mixed Site, the 6 pioneers, the pioneer activity in real time, the 6 wallets. That's really good, man. That's exceptional. And yeah, it says the last activity is brilliant.
Between
you could probably
and Bavarian, it's probably the best. I think the best 2 things to come along, and it's amazing how they just came in succession like that. Two guys that just got it into their head that they have, they obviously have the skills, but they got it into their head that they could actually do something here. And I think the common theme is that there's so much information to draw upon now. This wouldn't really have been possible at the, in year 1 or maybe even most of year 2. But a lot has happened, and there's so much information to draw upon that it enables chaps like Bavarian and Michael to use their skills. And look what they've created. They're like masterpieces. They're excellent DApps.
Yeah, they really are. I'll probably even just do like a video on them just as they are at some stage in the future to share them and get the more eyeballs on them, because they really deserve it, because they're just lovely websites.
they deserve your treatment. You're really good at that stuff. The presentation, it could be good. It's just useful, useful features. It's been needed. You can only search TG so much, and you need context as well for so much of it. But to actually have a facility to ask questions and get context back, it's invaluable.
100%. Yeah.
I'll let you go, Stephen. It's probably late evening there, so keep in touch, and we'll please we'll pick up the convo again on Clarity Act, a VC for it. We'll just see what happens with the. There's meant to be something coming out possibly this week, like between the 20th, maybe 20th or 21st. There was something hinted about that officially. So we'll see if some new text comes out and we can work with that. So have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Hello.
Yo.